Looking very pale today, aren't we?
I feel pale.
Do ya?
Mm-hmm.
You're glowing, Renata. You're just radiating light. Don't pick your nose. Hello, everyone. Jeez, that's a big sigh. Hello, everyone. How are we all? I'm Anne, and that's...
Yeah, me. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy Easter. Hello, River of Souls.
Oh, geez, you've been waiting for 91 minutes. Well done. Well done. And on YouTube as well. I love it. That gets us more minutes towards the 40,000 million hours we need. Hello, Jodie. Welcome to Q&A Monday, and I've done a nice new sort of promo thing there. Do you like it? Do you like it?
Hello, Gareth and
Hi.
Christy and Jodie and Danielle and
Danielle
Karen.
from Ireland. Tell us where you are. Hi, Seth. In unison, no less.
What will we do without our gorgeous supporters? Hello, Kim.
Does anyone know how to fly to Melbourne cheaply from Newcastle on a Monday?
Yeah.
We're tossing up at the moment whether we fly from Sydney.
I've got.
You got a ghost in your head.
Yeah, I do. What happened? It's gone.
What?
I had a light anemomelomy. I had a light anemomelomy. My hair.
Say wallaby.
It's gone. It's gone. An angel.
Appen.
An angel
Hi,
appeared.
From Appen.
Hello, Kerry.
And Jodie.
Jodie and Andrew. Happy Easter to all.
And hi, Quinny.
Happy existential crisis to you all.
Oh, was it an extraordinary day, Renata?
It was exactly exceptional.
Oh, excellent.
Who's had enough chocolate to last them a lifetime?
Oh, let me tell you about my chocolate experience.
I haven't, actually.
I started eating carbs on Thursday night and then ate only carbs all day Friday into Saturday, and then I started to feel a bit sick. So I went off all the carbs again and went back onto my good eating plan. And
well, that was dull and boring.
No. I had a sugar, no added sugar Easter egg that Roman gave me. So I thought, well, I'm feeling sorry for myself, so I'm going to eat this whole Easter egg.
Oh, that would have had like aspartame or something.
No, it was maltitol.
Maltitol.
I spent the next 3 hours on the toilet pooing. Turns out that maltitol does not agree with me that well. I'd also had an ice cream that had maltitol in it.
I normally can't have any of it.
I avoid maltitol because it's a chemical poop storm, as Christy likes to call it, and I normally avoid that. But I thought, no, it'd be okay. I've got a tough guard, so I'm not like her.
Kiddies, this is a warning. A warning episode.
Hi, Lornatopia, how are you? Yes, I'm trying very hard not to use all this. And guess what's happening next Sunday?
What?
Our very first live tarot show.
Oh, Jesus, I'm stressing out like there's no tomorrow. I've got to really be careful that I don't get vertigo by the weekend. Guys, who can tell me what I can do so I don't stress? Who can tell me something that I can do?
Stay active, that's the best thing.
So I don't stress, because I'm already stressing out.
Hi, Robert. Thank you for joining me on the big seance live feed today. I was very unexpectedly thrown into the live feed.
Look, guys, I have the weight of everybody's expectations on my shoulders. Now, we all do. It's just the closer it all gets, the more extreme. Hi, Carolyn.
Erin wants to know what is the True Hauntings episode on about Thursday.
On Thursday?
I've got no idea. I can't remember. We've been trying to record 2 a week so we can get ahead so that when we go to Melbourne and we go to Queensland that we don't have to worry about it. I think...
Is it the first one?
Yeah, the first one for the English one.
Yes.
We're going to England. We'll tell you that much for a
Erin.
very famous haunting.
Yes, you're going to have to wait a couple of episodes before we head back to Australia, Erin. But this is a really famous one. It's so big that we actually had to do it over 2 episodes. 2 episodes.
Well, look, they're all giving you advice that you would give to somebody else.
Never use your own advice as a counsellor.
Hey, Robert, did I make sense? Because I was really not expecting that. There we are, lots of B vitamins and some meditation.
Thank you, Sonia.
Oh, so you're in the USA. Oh, okay.
Hey, River of Souls, guess what? We're back on tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Monday night, 7 p.m. EST time. We will be on the Paranormal United Network on Facebook. We have our own show starting on there for American audiences. We'll do a one-off tomorrow. And then it will be, we have 2 weeks off because we're away interstate for the next 2 weeks, and I can't guarantee we'll have reception. And then we'll be back on as a regular gig. I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to England. Jake, we are well. And I have to tell you, I jumped onto Jake's page. He was doing some readings last night, and what he was saying was absolutely resonating with me. It was really good.
Good on you, Jake. Excellent.
Oh, there we go. That's a good suggestion from Christy for you to calm down.
Thanks, Christy. Thank you. Awesome.
Yes, it's not the Enfield. It's another famous one, but we do have that one on our list.
That at some point.
It'll probably be a double episode, just like this one is a double episode, because we had to come at it from 2 different angles. And what's this one? Just pulled some oracle cards for you, Renata. We'll put the result in another comment. Oh, thank you. That's awesome, Janet. All right, so hope you all had a great Easter. What questions do you have for us tonight? Now, Renata was saying,
hey, Jenny,
that she was, would you believe, not so much Andrew. They actually had very little to do with it, just a phone call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't believe the movies.
Freaking all, Andrew. None at all.
The movies make out that they did, but they actually had very little to do with it.
Guy Lyon Playfair was one of the main investigators. He spent days and days and days at the house, and all credit goes to him and his team, the people that assisted and helped him along the way. Guy Lyon Playfair,
hey, Craig,
has now
Three Beards podcast
has passed. And there have been some great interviews with him. Very, very knowledgeable and down-to-earth man. Hi, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, we were just saying we're going to be on the Paranormal United Network, and there is another one that's asking us to come on as well, which we're going to try and organise a special show for them. So we're going to now be doing 3 live shows a week. All right, Lorna has the first question.
You don't have to watch them all.
You don't have to.
You don't.
Do you believe a family member who is cruel in life can be made, forced by the universe or whatever or whoever, to remain behind, but to help further generations as a protector to right his wrongs, or if bad in life, he would be bad in spirit? Oh, geez, that's a humdinger, Lorna. All right, let me just kick off.
You go on.
Okay.
You go on.
My mother was not the nicest person on this earth, and I actually...
Let's open a can of worms.
Yeah, we're starting early, Lorna. Thanks for that. I kept waiting for her to come back through and apologise to me for all the shit she had done, and she just never came through. And I kept wondering, why has she not come through? That she owed me an apology. But that comes down to me as a living person searching for something that that person in life can no longer give me. So it was something I had to actually solve within myself. I don't necessarily forgive her, but I find I can understand maybe the way she reacted the way she did. There is some theories that suggest that if you owe a debt to someone on the mortal plane, that you become a guide. and that you have to help that person until they can achieve whatever it is they need to achieve. That's just a theory that I've heard, right? I'm just going to, I know.
Smells like bullshit to me.
I personally don't think you can make anyone do anything that they don't want to do.
Oh, sorry.
It is up to their soul.
It's the medication.
She's feisty tonight, I'm telling you. Normally it's me. Tonight it's her.
Right.
They've got their own life journey, soul journey, whatever it is to complete and do. Whether that is to come back and right wrongs or whatever, but it's their journey. It's not ours. So if you are feeling these wrongs that need to be right, that's actually your journey. I'm going to hand over to her.
Oh God, don't. We are making assumptions about the spirit world depending on what we've heard and what other people have been telling us are their ideas or what they have experienced. We don't really know what occurs, what goes on, and what what all of that is about. We really don't. All religions have their own way of interpreting what happens once a person dies and what happens to that soul and how that soul moves on or forward. In reality, we don't know. There may be nothing that is associated with anything that we're talking about, or it may be everything. So I personally don't have a view that pure energy can be made to do anything. I'm working on everything else as a hypothesis, but I have no set views. I was brought up with a bucket load of views about what the world should be like.
Catholic guilt.
And you know what? I've pissed all of that up against a wall and gone, no. And in actual fact, I heard something coming in today that made me extremely angry.
Oh yes, which is why she's
extremely angry. And we've got to be really, really careful with what we say with regard to all of this, because you know what? It's so easy to guilt even more those that feel guilty and those who are being given a rough time. And I even disappeared for a minute there.
Universe is trying to tell you something there, Renata.
I must be having an issue on the screen. And this was about the law of attraction.
Oh, here we go.
This is about the law of attraction, and this is about, and this came from the mouth of its biggest proponent, one of its biggest proponents. And it was something so disgustingly horrible that, you know, you just can't even think about why anyone can even think about things like that and go, yeah, that's my reality. That's the justice I'm going to give it. And I'm going to lay it all on the spiritual side of things because, you know, I don't want to do it any other way. And, yeah, it's just, I don't know whether we should even say it or not.
It was saying that children who have cancer, what was it? That it was because of their vibrational energy that they attracted that to them. Yeah.
Whether they know it or not.
Bullshit.
Whether they know it or not, they give off a particular vibrational rate, and therefore cancer and things like that gets attracted to them.
Anyway, let me give you that.
Yeah, I just want to stab people in the eye for that.
Be a badass. There you go. That's Robert.
Yeah. I really do. I want to stab their eyes out and stick them in a glass jar, because that's just not on.
Yes, I've got a feeling that one's on Ghost Adventures. He's got the Bela Lugosi mirror.
What's that about?
There's all legends about the Bela Lugosi mirror.
Sorry.
Maybe we can add that to our True Hauntings podcast.
Yes.
As something to look at.
Yes.
All right, what's Robert got there? If the spirit is given the option for death to be a guide, they are forced to alter their perceptions. See, once again, that's a personal belief and bias. We don't know. The answer is
We
we really
would
don't
all
know.
love to think that people get their angel wings once they die, and everyone turns into something beautiful. Um,
Oh, finally!
we would all love to think that way.
I don't think I'm going to get my angel wings though somehow or other.
I'm too grounded in the reality of um, the way people really are.
Is it a bad idea to have mirrors on opposite walls directly in line with each other?
Depends on whether you like to look at the back and front of yourself at the same time, Jody.
So,
I don't.
supposedly in scrying and mirror work, it's supposed to be a portal, and
Yes, it is.
it's opening up portals. So, whether you believe in that, then that'd be something you would need to avoid. I do have a bit of a funny thing with mirrors. I will admit, I at Q Station when I used to have to sleep there overnight, there was a mirror in the room that just was opposite another mirror, and I used to take it down.
And if you think about the history of mirrors, mirrors when they were created were very much like black magic. You actually could see a reflection of yourself. I know, mirror, right? Reflection of yourself, yeah, right. But most people could not afford to have mirrors because they were very expensive. And there was a painting with lead, wasn't it? It was lead that was on the back.
Yes, I don't know. Was it Mercury? I can't remember. In the loo, we had that. Not good.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be looking at front and back in the loo.
So, mirrors were associated with the very rich. Though also this whole idea, superstitious wise, of being able to see into the soul because you were looking into your eyes, you were seeing the reflection of who you truly were. So there's a lot of superstition associated with mirrors. There's a lot of superstition with mirrors associated with death and passing. Mirrors used to be covered. Because yes, they were a portal for the soul to disappear into and then hide, and in the middle of the night it would reach through and come back out into your bedroom. So, a lot of that stuff is associated with mirrors, and a lot of that has been really, it still kind of lingers in our society.
There's not many tickets left for Dubbo Jail on the 1st of May. It's getting very, very slim. So what would happen with somebody truly evil on Earth, murderers or killers, Adolf Hitler? They become worm food.
Part of them is still here with us all. We've probably breathed in a bit of Adolf Hitler over our existence and our time, because if you think of all of those molecules dissipating into the universe, into the world, we've probably kind of breathed in a little bit of him. The same with other murderers
But that's
and
a
killers.
physical substance.
Is that a nice thought?
She's in a weird space tonight.
So, maybe that dissipation is a really good thing. The hope is that someone like him does not turn up again, although we know that they do in another form.
Whether it's their soul reincarnated into another body or not sure, unless they have one of those experiences where they give you details that they cannot explain how they have that information. Or is it just another asshole?
Yeah.
I think, once again, that is something that we as humans would like to see a little bit of revenge and see them suffer a little bit for the horrors that they committed. So that's a need that we need to fulfill. Yeah, I like Seth. I stay on Earth when I pass so I can scare people. Yeah, see, once again, Robert, I would like to think that they were suffering somewhere for what they've done, or be made to put in a position that they get what they gave out, but it's... Yeah. Now, this is a good question. Is it people or places that get haunted?
Both.
Yeah, then there's something that's also actually called place memory, or place haunting, where it's... Some people will call it residual haunting, where it's a replay of an event that happened over and over. So that is the haunting of that location, it's of that place. It can't go anywhere else because it was replayed at that spot. And people themselves can have somebody that follows them around that's their ghost, but it could be their Aunt Flo who just wants to look after them, or their grandfather, or it could be a spirit that's sort of seen something about that person that makes them feel that they belong with that person. There's something familiar about them, and they'll stay with them for a while and then maybe move on. Or the person themselves can be creating the haunting. If we look at what they call the psi, the PSI, where you have the ability to take the energy and form it, because matter cannot be created nor destroyed. So same with this energy, they will draw in the energy and focus it to create their own entity. You want to add anything?
Very profound tonight, that's all I can say. From the point of view of emotion and trauma, when there is great emotion or trauma, it's either held internally or externally. Externally, we can make vases shatter with extreme trauma. Internally, we can actually split ourselves into pieces and have dissociative disorders. So either way, energy is a very, very strong tool. And often when these things happen, we are in a place where we have little control over what is going on because we have just literally lost our shit. And some places really encapsulate that moment and keep it stored for some odd reason. Others don't, but some do. And you can happen upon a moment in time where it tends to be replayed. And we look at that very much with places like fields of battle. And there are a lot of those overseas. Places in America where the Civil War has occurred, for example, are well-known sites. And because there's been so much death and trauma in one spot, it seems to never be able to wash away. And some people will actually be able to engage with it on such a deep, they get pulled in to such a state of deep emotion that it springs back to life for them. And then, like Anne said, there are certain people who just have that magnetism that seems to engage and attract with any sort of energy as well that is around them. And they tend to be literally like that ghost magnet stuff where things seem to happen wherever they are. So, yeah.
Now, Andrew, yes, Ronnie DeFeo Jr. passed away a few weeks ago. They said it was caused by demonic possession. No, he had mental health issues, also drug issues. He was drunk and drugged at the time that he murdered his family, and they think someone else may have been involved. If you listen to our episode of True Hauntings, we actually go into that a lot. They came up with the idea of demonic possession because a priest looked at him at the trial and said, he looks like he's possessed. Mm-hmm. He's acting like he's possessed. And that's when the lawyers came up with an idea that they would try and get him off the hook by claiming demonic possession. It was nothing to do with demons. It was to do with mental health. But have a listen to True Hauntings, because that's what we do in True Hauntings. We look at the big cases and we analyse them through the eyes of paranormal investigators, not through the eyes of religious bias. So hopefully we can... It's a bit like true crimes, where we dig into the case.
And Ronnie DeFeo actually threatened his father a number of times.
Yeah.
He almost shot him
but
dead
his father
prior to that.
Father was violent as well. The father used to beat Ronnie Jr. up. So and the mother.
Yeah, there's a whole big, huge story about a whole lot of family chaos there. A horrible, horrible thing to have happened, but I do think that the whole demonic thing is, not really. It's a good cover-up story, but not true.
It's blaming someone else instead of taking responsibility for their own actions. Is how I feel about it. Oh, sorry, it just jumped big time, guys. Oh, God, I found it. Okay. Hi, Sandy Bauer. How are you? Oh, there's lots of chat River of Souls on the Facebook pages, so you won't be seeing all of it.
I cannot
Kavita?
stand, Seth, I cannot stand people blaming innocent children for things they shouldn't be blamed for, no matter from what perspective they come. As far as I'm concerned, little children come into this world as a clean slate, and they can be horrendously destroyed. We don't need to continue that guilt and that type of stuff towards them by
Hi,
our
Karina.
stupid thinking.
Thursday night's reading night. This is our paranormal night tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Karina. Thursday nights.
And devil horns and oh, this is my coffee t-shirt. Sorry, I have to stand up so you can see it. So that's my morning ritual. Is the coffee morning ritual. So yeah, I'm not summoning a demon tonight. I'm too tired. Mary, don't you think that paranormal stuff is just shit? No. Thanks for your comment. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Scrolling. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, thank you, Mary. We think we're pretty good at it too.
Thank you, Mary. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, you're a very kind lady.
We would love to hear from you, Mary.
Thanks
Do
for
you
the
have a
compliments. Hope's all well spoken as Golden Girls. Renata, can you tell me when someone else is open to spirit, even if they are unawares?
Right?
Can you tell when someone else is open to spirit? Even if they're unaware. There's someone who's like channeling and picking up on stuff and they don't even know that they're doing it.
Yeah, they tend to have this glazed look in their eye, Stephen, like... so they can kind of, like that. That's really good. They can kind of feel as though... Or you kind of get this sensation that they're not there, they've gone somewhere. There's part of their brain that's gone somewhere and something else is now moving in through them.
Sorry.
It didn't scare me. So that's kind of one thing. Also, they can often tend to talk very clearly without any R's and arms or anything, but it really string gorgeous sentences together, which if you know the person really well and it's not a usual thing that they do, you can tell that it's coming from somewhere really, really deep. They can also be very, very connected with their environment. So they talk about feeling, they talk about how emotion really gets to them, and they can be extremely empathic and talk about how they're very reactive to things. So there are a number of things that can happen, I guess, Stephen. So, yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah, really good.
All right. Lorna wants to know, what is a superstition you believe in and would never do? For me, I never watch a loved one till they're out of sight. Oh, God, I've done that so many times. What's a superstition that you would never do? I don't think I would walk under a ladder because it's not clever.
I don't know, Lornatopia. At my age, come on, crack. At my age,
I don't know till you crack for me.
I don't know whether there are any superstitions that I kind of really wouldn't do anymore.
That is true, Carolyn. Yes, they used to use a mirror to put it up to their breath to see if they fogged up the mirror.
That's true. And that's interesting. I would be still very careful about the superstitions with regard to the dead. That's one of the things that I sort of would be very, very careful about. And as someone who does practice necromancy, you've kind of have to be a little bit respectful about some of those things.
So, yes, you just heard Renata say that we practice necromancy. That is because we talk to the dead and we try to communicate with them, which is a form of necromancy. So, it sounds very spooky and scary, but that's as simple as it is. Where's that lovely lady gone that was trying to stir up some shids.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What happens if you keep having the same dream all the time and wake up at the same time? Your brain is trying to make sense of a problem or an issue, Sandy Bauer, that keeps on coming up. And so your brain is interpreting that problem in your sleep state and creating a scenario, a story, and using symbolism to do so. So when you finally work out
Peter Potterlish.
work out what that issue is all about, the dream will stop happening and you will stop waking up at that same time. I hope that makes sense for you.
Peter thinks that we're being assholes.
Oh,
Peter, we even gave you a card reading the other night. What's happened between... He must have forgot to take his tablets.
Makes me laugh how you both try to discuss these topics as if you were authorities on the matter. Okay, did I mention I was an authority?
No, I'm pretty sure I didn't either. I said I can only go from my viewpoint. And
Peter,
offered...
do you know that other lady that was on tonight
Yes,
too?
maybe they're friends. Maybe they're both single
I
and
just
get
wonder-
together. They might be like-minded souls.
I wonder what's upset you tonight, Peter. You've often been quite nice when you've come on, but tonight you're rather upset.
Oh, he's got job.
Which I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to where we were. All right, Renata, we've got some cards for you.
Okay.
Slow down and let things happen. There is nothing to worry about. Again, are you ready to accept what is coming to you? Yes. Don't you say no, woman, because that's sending the wrong sign to the universe. I will slap you down. Sorry. Oh. We just went out of focus.
Fading in and out.
Because it will be the bounty you are hoping for. Happy, happy in reverse, lightening up, because this is the time to be ridiculous. See the world through the eyes of a clown and don't take yourself or situations too seriously. Have fun and be playful. Truly, I think everything will be okay. You're a talented medium. Yes, we all know. Janet, that is a fabulous reading. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Danielle has been out to have a look at the damage at Copeland. There's an old man waiting for us. He could even describe him. When I asked if he could somehow let us know his name, Zach heard Greg Wilhelm. How cool is that? Going back next... Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Thank you, Daniela.
Look up the name. See if you can find anything about them.
Awesome.
Good work.
Hey, Kate. Hi.
I have an odd question for you. If you come across a spirit, I'll just wipe it off and apologise. What? Oh, there's more. Help moving on from a location. The owner of the location didn't want them moved on. Whose wishes should be honoured? The person asking for help.
You can't be on the site without the owner.
But you can do remote work.
You can do remote work, and you can speak to them remotely, I guess, and send them prayers and love, and give them an opportunity for assistance. That's true. Okay. It puts you in a really hard situation because you would have to not really tell the owner what you are doing. And again, that I guess depends on what the connection between the owner and the spirit is. I mean, is it like a mother or something to the owner? And that's why they're not wanting to let go of it. Obviously, you've talked to the owner and there is some issue there. So good luck with that. But like Anne said, I suggest you probably do it without letting the owner know.
Yeah, isn't Peter's name normally Peter? Potterlage, not Potterlage, Peter?
No. It's the way it shows up. Yep.
Okay. Grand Poobah. Land soaked with the lifeblood of soldiers can bring visions of return.
Well, here we go.
Do you know any powerful psychics? Depends what you want to achieve,
Yes,
Stella.
Stella. What do you want?
What is it you are trying to achieve? Because it might not be a psychic you need. It might be a medium. So give us some more information on that.
You've missed some good.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Not sure of all associated back to mental illness. Yes, I know. That's what we said.
That's true, Peter.
It's exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing with us.
bet you didn't think that was going to happen, did you?
Have you seen the series Haunted on Netflix? Claims to be true stories, but seems a bit fake. Oh, I actually haven't really looked at it, so we'll have to have a look. Lorna! My husband is schizophrenic, and he has always thought that his multiple personalities could be his past lives that he can hear.
That's a hard one. This splitty thing that occurs is one of the hardest mental issues to have to deal with. I can't imagine being on the inside of that. I have had to deal with someone who has had that affliction, and it's a horrible space to be in. I can't speak from any authority other than my past experiences, but yeah, it could be a number of different things.
And you do have to trust your doctors to a certain stage, because this is not something we are qualified to deal with, sadly.
Yeah. And again,
who knows?
We've got to be careful that we don't label everything as being
mental health,
a spiritual affliction,
yeah,
or as a mental health thing. Number one is always that the mental health aspect of it first, but not everything can be cured with a pill. The best thing is to do everything in your ability to try and render assistance. So if there are past lives things that he feels that he's hearing, one of the best things to do is, rather than linger in that, is try and heal it. And try and heal those things so that they don't keep on coming up as the voices that he's hearing, Lorna. And if he had a really great counsellor, he might be able to talk to his counsellor about that too, and they might be able to assist him with that.
Hey, Peter, I think maybe you should just step away tonight. You're not in a really good headspace. I don't know what's going on with you, mate.
Yeah.
We're happy to have interesting conversations here, but if you're just going to be carrying on like that, then there's no point.
Just don't attack the people that are here.
And people don't attack him. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're not in a good headspace, Peter, maybe take a rest until next time.
What do you think of the American fixation with demons and evil?
That's got a lot to do with Hollywood. And because of one of the True Hauntings episodes that's coming up very, very soon, Jan, you have to remember remember that in the 1970s, Satan loved movies. Satan became famous at that point in time and took over the movie industry in Hollywood, and they had 3 movies that turned up at the same time. Just been reading about this. It was a time of the satanic panic, and everyone went ape crazy about the whole demon Satan sort of revolution thing that was going on, and that's never really changed. Do you know that prior to the 1970s, they said, and Hollywood said, that only losers watched horror movies? It wasn't something that was familiar and the thing to do. It wasn't the thing to do. So only losers watched horror movies. Once a particular movie came out, everything changed. Everything changed, and demons and evil became a bankable thing. And so that is when really everything really went off, and 50 years later not much has changed.
Demons still make money.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. Demons make money.
Yep.
Good stories really don't.
Yep. And stories with a happy ending in the paranormal doesn't make a good story. All right, serious question from Seth. Only evil spirits that can make you sick, or is it all? I don't know why you think they would make you sick. Again,
It could be something that you've read, other than possibly having an experience like that. Deep emotional trauma will also make you sick. Again, we've got to be careful that we don't label something external as something that is actually going on internally within us. And if you are feeling ill, number one, go see a doctor and make sure that it isn't something medical that is going on and that you are associating two things in the one thing. And we've got this evil thing, evil spirits, evil spirits. We've got to work out why the belief is that a particular spirit is evil. What is it doing? What effect is it having on you? Where was it picked up? What was happening? A whole lot of information before we even begin to label anything as evil or good.
And it also, just as a thought, could be a reaction of your body. If you have ever been put into a threatening situation, adrenaline kicks in and your body reacts accordingly to it. If you come in contact with an entity that is different, for lack of better words, vibrational energy to you, then your body could just be reacting to it. It's not that they're good or bad, it's just you're having a reaction.
That's true.
I think I channeled that.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see me go into that vague state before I said it?
It's a really good question, Seth. It's really, really good question. And the whole thing about tonight is that you guys are answering or asking questions that a lot of people have on their minds. And so this is really good. It gives everyone an opportunity to chime in and say something, or maybe hear something from us that gets you thinking a little bit more. So the idea is that we
don't have all the answers.
Yeah, we give you a piece of information. You need to run with that and go, okay, what else? I haven't thought about it that way before. What else can I go and find out about it? And this is where Google can be your friend.
And your enemy.
And you can search to your heart's content until you find an answer that is going to work well for you. But yes, our statements are not the be-all and end-all. They are the beginning of a conversation.
And we also try to eliminate bias from our answers, although we can't help it because we have feelings towards certain subjects which get our back up because we have bias towards it. So we try to leave bias at the front door, but sometimes you just can't help it.
Carolyn, T Public.
T Public is this one.
T Public.
This one.
Which is on...
TEEPUBLIC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look up, they've got amazing T-shirts. When can we be back on Uncensored Radio?
Anytime.
I think we've got time in about 3 weeks.
Anytime. Get a list of really, really juicy questions, Stephen. We'll make sure we have plenty of coffee and good stuff, and we'll jump into it.
Yeah, sleep paralysis. Do you think it's connected to the spirit world? No, it's actually where your brain hasn't quite disengaged from that sleep pattern, and your brain hasn't connected into the physical to make your limbs work. And if you're coming out of that sleep state, then you've also got issues. I think the episodes that involve a tall, dark shadow figure. Seems very real and threatening because you're not quite awake, so you don't know whether that is a true experience or not.
There's a lot of further research that has been done on sleep paralysis lately, and there are some experts that will say that there is a paranormal element to sleep paralysis for some people, but for the majority, no. It is very much this thing of the brain. The brain awakens and starts to tell you its stories, but the body is still in sleep mode. And that is so that the body doesn't continue to do what the brain is telling it to do, as in like sleepwalking or hit your wife or your husband, or go and kill someone down the road or whatever.
My husband punched me in his sleep. I have been punched, and he nearly died when he realised what he'd done, because he's the most gentlest, kindest man you could possibly meet, and he was not quite asleep properly, and he was making noises and struggling in his sleep, and I've reached over and gone, wake up, and he's gone, boom, and punched me, because he was having a dream about some pushy person who was getting fresh with him, and apparently this person had then touched him inappropriately, so I didn't touch him inappropriately. I like getting a good night's sleep. Anyway.
Read about sleep paralysis, but read not from a spiritual perspective, please. Read it from a scientific or medical perspective, so you can get a balance of information. There again is a lot of information about sleep paralysis online, but look at it from a medical
Hi, Steve.
perspective as well as a spiritual perspective, so that you can look at both sides and see what's going on. There are ways of coping with sleep paralysis, or trying to eliminate as much of it as you can. A lot of it comes from stress. A lot of it comes from not sleeping enough, being overtired, overexhausted. There is often a vitamin deficiency when it comes to sleep paralysis as well. And there are a couple of things that you can sort of actually really do to help assist and sort of break down this whole sleep paralysis pattern. And I can understand it's awfully disturbing. Really sorry for people who have it. It's an awful thing. And you can imagine 200, 300 years ago how they would have associated sleep paralysis with being attacked by demons. Absolutely.
For me, starting out the paranormal, probably I got onto the path of paranormal via reading ghost stories at school. I would grab every ghost book I could possibly get my hand on, and they'd always be true ghost stories or something, and curiosity got me, and eventually I had a friend who was a psychic medium who took me along to a spiritualist type group church where they were talking about channeling and psychics and mediums, and with that I became interested, and then eventually I found out about paranormal investigating by just happening to see a TV show where they were using gadgets, and that headed me down that path. Mm-hmm. That was probably a good 20 years ago that I saw that. No, not necrophilia, you are right.
No.
Hi Bronwyn, how are you? Thank you for being a Grand Poobah Patreon. Peter needs his pickle tickled.
Is Peter still with us?
No, Peter's gone. I think that's just as well. There's something not quite right with Peter tonight.
Yeah, he's normally not like that.
Sometimes
Peter
is.
engages often, so something's been going on with him. He must have had a bad Easter. Yeah, I get you, Pete. I know what that's like.
Oh, so you enjoyed the catacombs, did you? That was fun. Another fun one. Queens, yes. I would like to know about how and why would a spirit get trapped in the between, and how could you help them to move on, as it may be happening to me right now, so I'm confused. Please help me.
Oh. All you can do is, as someone who is in the living, reach out. If you have, if you believe you have a spirit team or a spirit guide,
or a guardian angel, or what do you want to call it?
Or a guardian angel, then the best suggestion is talk to them to talk to this spirit, because they are on the same vibrational wavelength, and they might be able to have a conversation about helping this particular spirit on, because we are in a very heavy body.
Meat sack.
Yeah, a meat sack, and we can only do so much, Jaron, and I always suggest praying for a soul is one of, and we get told this all the time, praying for a soul in whatever shape or form that prayer might be, and that prayer might just be an opportunity just to talk, doesn't have to be a formalized prayer, is one of the best things you can do.
Just reading some of the comments, sorry.
To alleviate concern or trauma for a spirit. But many, many, many years ago, when we went to a workshop in Sydney, we were sort of, one of the suggestions that was made by the tutor there was to get those in the spirit realm to talk to those spirits, because, again, they are on the same vibrational wavelength, and you talk to your guys, and your guys will talk to them, if that makes sense. Easiest way to do it, Jaren. But thanks for the question. Awesome.
I just saw a very interesting one that somebody had put up, and I'm just trying to find it here from an Aaron. Where was that, Jody? I'm sure Renata would love to answer this one.
I can hardly wait.
Hang on, let's find it. It was a cracker. She's in a mood tonight, so I'd be keen to I know what her answer is, but yeah, why not? Let's answer it.
Hey, Ashmore. Hi.
I wonder if one of the teams removed it. I'll see if I can read it out to you.
There must be a lot of people on tonight that have nothing better to do.
A personal question. Aaron Shepherd, I think it is, would like to know, what is your weekly root rate with your husband?
Oh, that's nice.
Well, Aaron, the things that you need to know about us.
That's a spiritual question. I'm sure that's very spiritual.
Well, he might want to have a wank to it. I don't know.
I don't know whether to be pleased about that and honoured that anyone would really care, or just flabbergasted.
It's lucky they didn't ask me, huh? All right, sorry, that was hilarious. I had to. What was the particular movie that changed it all?
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
As Jeanette Barlow said, The Exorcist changed it in the 1970s, and that was sat on for a couple of years, actually, until the right time. And we're going to be talking about that on one of our podcasts that are coming up. Extraordinarily interesting. We will be talking about the author himself and some stories about the movie itself as well. It's worth listening to. That will be, I think, recorded very, very shortly, and it's worth listening to. But yes, the 70s was a time of absolute chaos. We were actually in a great situation worldwide, financially. Everyone was kind of getting into a bit of a high, and I think it was like, well, let's destroy that, and let's make everyone feel more disempowered. And as we kind of mentioned, the satanic panic started in America with a couple of things that occurred there. Again, we will be mentioning that in a podcast. And then the time was ripe, because William Blatty, who was the author of The Exorcist, did you know that he was a comic writer?
What?
He was a comic writer.
Wow.
And The Exorcist blew that out of the water. He could never write comedy ever again after that. But he waited with that book for quite some time before, like he said, he thought the time was right to publish it. But there was The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, which was, that was an God, there were 3 movies, and I can't remember the third one offhand, because I know it didn't, I kind of really didn't hear about that particular one, so I need to do some research on that particular one. But there were 3 movies that came out in a relatively close time to each other, and Rosemary's Baby, which was full on, and The Exorcist, and this third one really, really changed everything for people. This was huge. It was huge. People lined up around the streets to go watch The Exorcist. They lined up around the streets, and do you know what? They actually they created vomit bags to hand out for people in
they gave them a bag full of vomit?
They gave them bath bags in case they were going to throw up.
I can understand that for Blair Witch, but I don't know about that
Oh
one.
yeah, it's crazy stuff. And do you think that was 50 years ago?
Wow. All right. Right, Danielle.
Yeah. Oh, look, I have done dream interpretation.
Dream about twins. What does twins mean?
I've done some dream interpretation, and it actually depends because there are two ways that you can look at interpreting dreams. One is from the kind of set dream books that you have that have like a collective unconscious interpretation of symbols that appear in dreams, and the other is a personalized look at your dream and how certain symbols and symbology means to you, because not everything that makes you scared is something that would make everyone collectively scared, for example. And there are certain things that you might love that other people are terrified of. So we've got to interpret it in the context of you and how you look at those things. So I'd need some more information on that particular dream and have a bit of a chat to you about it so that we could actually come up with something that isn't generic and that actually means something to you, rather than looking through a dream book and going, oh, twins means this, so it's got to be that.
Danielle, I would suggest going, because you're quite academic, I would go to the Rhine Institute, RHINE, and do one of their courses there, because they're more university level.
Danielle
sorry, it just jumped.
Yeah, Danielle had a big one there. Danielle Hahn.
Oh, Danielle, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh,
2 weeks?
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's just horrid.
Danielle, I would give it time before you try and contact. You are all in grief, and he is as well. This was an extremely quick passing, and the most important thing that you can do, Danielle, at the moment is, like I've said before, give his soul space and just send prayers and love. Send prayers and love to the rest of your family, to you and to him, so that he can be at peace, because this would have been an absolute horrible shock. Don't try and make too much contact, or don't try and make too much contact at once. Please give all of you that time of respite to try and integrate what has happened. That is really, really important. I think trying to make contact too quickly it's something that the living require and want and need. I don't think so much for the soul. And for that person that has passed, please, please, please give them a chance to be at rest. Don't disturb that energy too much, but send bucket load of love and send prayers. Play his favourite songs, go and pay your respects wherever he might be. I'm not sure whether he was buried or whether he was cremated. And look after the living, Danielle. That is the most respectful thing that you can do at the moment. And I'm really, really sorry.
Thank you, Amanda Ann. We absolutely loved listening to interviewing her. She was just the most amazing lady. The Omen was 3 years after The Exorcist. I just looked it up to double check.
Justin, I can't remember what the third movie is, but I didn't hear about it a lot. It wasn't as famous as the other two. So now that's intrigued me. I need to know a little bit more about it. So I'm going to have to go and have a look at what it was about. All of them were about disempowering people. And like if you think of the synopsis of Rosemary's Baby, where she was chosen to be impregnated by the devil, there you go. Don't you know about Rosemary's Baby?
I don't think I've ever watched that one.
It was horrific. Mia Farrow was in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
it was horrifying.
remember Carrie. Carrie was pretty Woohoo! Now there was an example of psychokinetic energy or psi, and the ability of the mind to actually create energy, or not create energy, but manifest.
The Conjuring is way too early, Seth. You've got to go back 50 years to.
Yeah, we've been at it for a long time, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Back when I was a wee baby and Renata was in her 40s.
Yeah, I've got all the. There you go. I've got all the notes ready. I just haven't looked at them all.
We may have covered one of these in True Hauntings coming up soon.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. I'd forgot we'd done that one.
Renee, how do we deal with the skeptics block out the hate?
Did you see what we were doing tonight?
The more I embrace the paranormal and learn about spirituality and explore north, the more people think I'm weird. Yeah, Renee, the whole thing is don't tell too many people about what you're doing. It is something that is for you.
Personal.
And it is your personal thing. You can get really, really excited because you are being enlightened by gaining knowledge, and you would love other people to be as knowledgeable and aware as you are. But often you're just pissing up against a wall, and it's just not going to help. So
eventually you do find your people, and you talk to them, and when you get somebody who mentions something about it, you go, oh, they're into the stuff I'm into, and then you just drop them a little, do you know about blah 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 blah? And they go, I do. Oh, what do you know about it? And then you've found a friend.
Yeah, find your safe spaces, Renee. But the suggestion is, don't put yourself out there if you don't really need to, because you will attract them like honey to a bee. As you can see by some of the people that come on here occasionally and try and have a go, they don't last very long, but they still try and have a go. It just comes with the territory.
Mick, it's okay. I think Jaron was just asking a question because I'd put up something you can ask personal questions, but not too saucy, because Jaron is normally a really good guy. So yeah, just let's not insult people. And look, we handle everything that's going on there, so
it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
I know you guys are all very protective of us, but we can handle ourselves, can't we, Renata?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God, we've gone over an hour.
Yes.
I didn't even realise.
Guys, look, thank you so very, very much for coming on. We have the best people that come on for our Q&A Mondays. We really, really, really so
Did I say
psychogenic?
Psychokinetic. I thought I said psychokinetic. Psi. That's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We have the best people that come on for Q&A Mondays, and you ask the most awesome questions. And look, if someone comes on and is a little bit quirky or funny, don't worry about it. We will handle it. That's what Q&A Mondays are all about. It is about us handling the slightly left of field.
And because we get shared to many different groups, and the groups that we do get shared to aren't necessarily paranormal or spiritual groups, we will get people who don't believe or don't want to believe or don't want to even engage or find what we're doing is rude and offensive, and that's okay. We're all entitled to opinions. We aren't experts on things. We can only tell you from our reading and study that we've done, and share opinions.
Mm-hmm. And like we said, as long as that starts a conversation for you and it makes you look further and deeper for your own answers, that is what this whole thing is about. Don't ever stop with what we say. Go and look for yourself. That's called taking responsibility for your life, and that is what we are all about. Hell, I don't want responsibility for your life. I have enough trouble with my own. There you go. So, on that gorgeous point, we want to thank you all for being on tonight. Thank you, everyone.
It's okay, Jaron. I knew where you were coming from. It just sort of came across. We didn't know it was you when we saw it because we got half a screenshot of what it said. So I didn't. If I'd known it was you, then I would have gone, oh, okay, he's just been funny. Don't stress. It's fine.
And Jaron, it's not very much. Right? Nothing to get excited about, Jaron. Just saying.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you want another fix of Anne and Renata, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning
God.
on the Paranormal United Network.
We'd love to see some of you
Oh,
there
it'd
because
be
we
great.
don't know how many people from America are actually going to be ready.
Yeah, for us.
And
And they don't get Australian humour, which
No.
really worries me.
So if some of you can jump on it it's going to be on StreamYard.
Yeah, but
If
it'll
some of
be
you
on the
can-
Paranormal United Network. You've got to go to
Yeah.
that page.
If some of you can jump on and ask some questions, that would actually be absolutely awesome. So
There's-
we're not sitting there staring at...
There's two
at
pages.
the
There's one
wall?
that is the network page, and there is another community page. You want the network page. Sorry.
Thank you, River of Souls. Remember, tomorrow, get some questions ready. Or, your time.
Yeah, we'll
In
be
the
on
evening.
in America.
Yeah. America, get ready. We're coming.